What is going on, guys? It is your boy Crunch, and today we are back for another video. This one is actually super exciting. I'm bringing back a series that I haven't made a video on for a very long time for whatever reason, and that of course is the character evolution series. The reason I haven't made it, I don't know, it's just kind of got old to me, but I'm excited to do it now and bring it back just because there's a lot of characters in this game that I would like to go ahead and break down their history in the game. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it today, and we're starting it off with Grimmjow. And so just, it's perfect just because he just came out with a really amazing form. So it'll be pretty cool to get his history. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So Grimmjow, if you guys didn't know, has been a character that's been in this game for a very long time. It's crazy because as of filming this, his first ever form in the game came out exactly 3 years ago on October 31st. And that of course was his released form alongside with Visored Ichigo. This was actually probably the best character at the start of the game, and he was really good. Like, compared to every other character in the game, he was just so quick, he was so fast, he had great stats at the time, right? And overall, he was just better than everyone else. Even, I would say, better than Visored Ichigo. I actually was able to pull him at the time, back when I first started the game, and he was actually really fun and enjoyable to use. He was a relevant character for a while, but obviously towards the 6-star character era, that's when he started to fall back a bit, and yeah, he ended up being a lot less effective. Looking at his stats as of now, he has 691 attack with 526 SP, which for one, his attack isn't that low. Like, that's actually pretty good. SP is low though, so obviously not anything crazy. When you look at his skills, he does get Sprinter, Havoc plus 20%, so he can increase his range on his strong attacks, Bruiser plus 10%, Devastation plus 10%, and then he also gets a Soul Trait increase from 40 attack to 100 attack. And that is like the biggest reason why his attack is so high at 691. They go ahead and add the Soul Trait. But yeah, I mean, he was really good at the start. As of now, he's not that great. I'm waiting for his resurrection form just because it'd be nice to go ahead and get like Frenzy on him and kind of revive him a bit, because to be honest, he had some pretty cool strong attacks, and it would be nice to use him in the future when he gets his resurrection for like nostalgia, right? Just because it'd bring back memories back in the day when I would just go ahead and use him at all times. After getting the first Grimmjow, we ended up going through a few months. It was actually March 2016 when we actually went ahead and got Grimmjow a second form, and this one of course was his White Day version. I'll be honest with you, at the time I didn't pull him, so I never really got the experience of using this character. At the time, I remember he was alright. I know that out of the banner, because he came along with many other White Day characters like Aizen, Gin, and Toshiro and whatnot. I know he wasn't as relevant as those two, but looking at his stats as of now, his stats aren't the worst. He's slightly better than his released form. He has 655 attack with 591 SP, but his Soul Trait is 20% strong attack, which is a lot better than getting a 100 increase on attack, just because his strong attacks will inflict a lot more damage. And then his skills do end up getting better. He has Long Reach plus 20%, Blast Zone plus 30%, Bruiser plus 20%, Berserker plus 30%, and then Devastation plus 40%. So he will, inflict some damage. Something odd about this character as well is that he's a melee character for his normal attack and his first strong attack, but then his second and third are ranged, so you could really only guard break with strong attack number 1. And so yeah, that sometimes got a little, I would imagine that would be a little bit of a problem, but overall, he's an older character. I mean, he came out in 2016, so he is older. But yeah, overall, this character is slightly better than his release form, as well with the release form version of him. I'd like to see his resurrection just to see what it is that he can provide and how much better he could end up being. It's crazy because like these character evolutions videos usually end up teaching me a little bit more about these characters as well. And with that said, I mean, it's weird because I didn't even know that during this time frame, like 2016, we were getting a lot of Grimmjows. I guess the next one, which is the Parasol Grimmjow, ended up coming out at the end of June in 2016, so just over like a little over 3 months later. So it's kind of weird that I didn't know this. Like, it's just odd that that they came out with so many Grimmjows when after another. I guess the hype at that time was more towards like the Vizards themselves, not Vizards, the Espadas themselves, and so they focused in on Grimmjow since he is one of the more popular Espadas in the whole series of Bleach. But anyways, looking at this form of Grimmjow, I remember the Parasol characters when they first came out. They were actually quite good. Like, they were probably the best seasonal characters up till that point, right? Grimmjow, for one, I'm pretty sure was really good overall. He had a good amount of stats. You know, as a 6-star, looking at him now, he had 659 attack, 599 SP, normal attack damage plus 20%, so you know you could focus in on that normal attack damage. His skills ended up being a little bit better than the others as well, with increases of 20% towards normal attack, berserker plus 30%, devastation plus 30%, debilitator, and enhancer. So one thing that was really cool that made the Parasol characters that much better is that they had buffs on I think their second strong attack. So like his strong attack number 2 ended up giving him a 33% boost on his attack, defense, and focus, and it was about 10 seconds. But with with enhancer, it increased it another 10 seconds. So it was just like the introduction to the booster for a strong attack, and yeah, it just made these seasonal characters that much better than the previous ones. And this right here is when there was like just a huge break in between the next Grimmjow. We ended up getting the Grimmjow almost a whole year later, at the end of May. So it basically was a whole year later, and this of course is a remake of his released form. This was of course already when 6-stars were in the game, so you know the stats that we have now are basically what they were when he first came out. But yeah, looking at his stats, they were actually not too bad. 619 attack with 692 SP. At the time, that was of course like probably the highest or close to the highest SP in the game. He had a 20% damage reduction link, which was super useful and is very useful even still to the day. His skills also just added up to making him even better than most characters in the game at the time, with Frenzy, which doubled his strong attacks, the first version of Grimmjow to ever get Frenzy. Bruiser plus 20%, Devastation plus 40%, and then of course he also had it in his skills that he would increase the soul trait from 16% to 20% damage reduction at as a 6-star. So yeah, this form right here, I remember getting him like at the time, and I was super excited. And you know, he was very, very good for a long time. I would say he lived on to be good for like a good portion of the following year. But then of course over time, maybe closer to the 8-month period after he was released, he was getting replaced by others, espadas that were just better overall because of their stats and what they had as in mechanics. For example, Remake Ulquiorra, Baragon, all those types of espadas, those espadas themselves were replacing Grimmjow. And the only place where I personally found Grimmjow to be more useful than those type of characters was in PvP. I remember using this character for a very long time in PvP. He was quite useful. He was like doing what he needed to do, which was just survive and wait for the soul bomb. And he was a good character in that regard. Of course, his 20% damage reduction was very useful. And yeah, it was what made him, you know, decent in PvP. It's crazy though, because like looking at the banner he came out with a banner of Yami and Noitora, and those two, of course Yami didn't do much. He was pretty much a joke since the moment he dropped. But Noitora, he's still pretty much relevant to this day because of the fact that he has Flurry, and you know, Flurry alone makes a character live on for quite a while now. I mean, people have kind of replaced him nowadays, but even still, as a power unit, he might still just be the best NAD unit in the power attribute like scene. But yeah, I don't know. Grimmjow, this one was like really super hype when he came out. I remember getting them, and it was just kind of like a good time. But yeah, after that, it was like another huge wait between the next Grimmjow. I don't know what happened or what has been going on, but like they just didn't want to show any love to my boy Grimmjow up until obviously we got a Frenzy version of him, which I'll briefly talk about. It's nothing crazy. It was just a version of Grimmjow that we all got just as a soul trait for other characters. You know, it's a pretty decent soul trait. He has normal attack damage increase and then also a strong attack damage increase. I think it's 18 for strong attack and 16 for normal attack. So for those hybrid builds, it's not too bad. But his stats, yeah, it's basically useless. You really don't need to worry about him. 491 attack, 575 SP, just pretty much useless. He's not a character you're really gonna want to use. He's more of a character you're just gonna want to use as a soul trait. But moving on right past him, we're gonna talk about the fact that yeah, like it just took forever for the next version of him to come out. We ended up getting his next version just literally a couple of days ago. So well over a year ago now. Like I think even it would be closer to like a year and a couple of months now since the last Grimmjow. We end up finally getting a new one, and this one is, I mean, come on, like I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty badass. Like I think they really outdid themselves with this one. Like it's the demon version of Grimmjow. It's from the Spirit Society version, so like that little theme that they're doing. This Grimmjow, I'm telling you right now, I was able to pull him. He's the one I wanted the most out of all of them, which, you know, he came alongside Gen and Rukia. But yeah, this character right here, they just went out, man. They went out, and he's definitely like an amazing character. He's a technique attribute unit. He has 642 attack, 774 SP. Looking at his SP, he's actually ranked 4th overall in the game as of now, and that's only being like there's only 3 other characters that beat him, and that's Manga Yoruichi, Manga Ichigo, and Yuha Ba. So like Grimmjow has insane SP. Looking at his soul trait, he has 20% strong attack damage, so it only helps out his damage increase, so that's pretty nice. His skills also are no joke. He has Sprinter, Long Reach plus 20%, Bruiser plus 20%, Devastation plus 40%, Frenzy, and Debilitator. So the Frenzy is only gonna just help out his strong attacks even more, you know, increase the hits by 1. And then Debilitator, he does inflict weakening through everything. So this form of Grimmjow by far is just amazing, right? His gameplay, if you guys haven't tried it, is amazing. Second and third strong attack are just they're amazing. They just hit everything. His first is a lunge attack, which is also very useful. But yeah, overall, man, this one right here, they really did a great job. You know, the wait was, in my opinion, worth it. Like it ended up being worth it, and it paid out. I'm happy I pulled him. If you guys haven't summoned, you know, the banner's currently still out, I believe, and so, you know, you have the chance to still pull him. But you know, with that all said, Grimmjow, you know, we got this one right now, but the future is super bright for him and almost all the espadas from what we can tell. If you guys didn't know, a couple of months ago on the Bankai livestream, K-Lab announced that we would be getting second forms of espadas in the game, exclusive to the game that we've never seen before. So you know how Grimmjow has a second release, we might be getting like a segunda etapa Grimmjow, which would be so cool. And yeah, so, and I'm pretty sure, I'm like 100%, not 100%, but like I'm really positive that Grimmjow would end up getting a released form, or a release form that we've never seen before, just because, you know, he's still alive, for one, and 2, I just feel like Grimmjow is probably one of the more anticipated ones that everyone would love to see a second segunda etapa form. This form right here of Grimmjow, though, it's really cool though, because it's almost like an exclusive look to him too. We've never seen Grimmjow like this, right? He's like a demon with floating hands. So I mean, just for now, I'm gonna savor this moment. I'm gonna keep this Grimmjow like close to me, and I'm gonna use him as much as I can. But of course, like I said, 2019, the future's bright. I'm excited for hopefully getting another form of Grimmjow, and when that happens, I'll make sure to make another one of these for you guys. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys excited for the series to come back? I am. The goal is to bring you guys a character evolutions week in and week out, and so since we just got ourselves Gen and Rukia, I think those are the 2 that I'm gonna be doing next. The plan is to maybe just do next week Gen, the following week Rukia. You guys let me know if you guys like that schedule. But anyways, again, thank you all so much for watching. These videos take a bit of time to make, so if you guys can't hit the like button to show your support, it would mean a lot. And anyways, thanks again for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.